Hi everyone, welcome back to If My Heart Wings, episode 46, where the Soaring Circle has a new member, and her name is Asa Kazato. So Asa also lent her grandfather's dock, and it's big enough, well, more than big enough to conduct activities behind the school. And I'm sure the school is still looking for the glider because, come on, selling it, they can make money to help fund other activities. So, anyways, the reason why Asa wanted to join the Soaring Circle is the same as why Aoi, Kotori, and Ageha wanted to join the Soaring Club 1 year ago. And just like what happened in episode 1 when Aoi and Kotori saw Amane fly the glider, Asa saw the same thing when Aoi and Amane were testing it a few episodes ago. So, I'm sure Asa would like to see the glider back into the skies, but it requires fixing, and the glider got damaged, and because they were storing it in a bedroom at the Flying Fish Manor, they couldn't repair it. So let's see how the repair process goes and if Ageha and Kotori still remember how to work with FRPs, fiber reinforced polymers. Okay, so let's see.
ガラスマットが含んだ空気をハケで押し出すようにして樹脂を塗るの。こうでしょうか。塗りすぎ。もっと少しずつでいいから。
So I wonder where Ageha is, because I'm pretty sure Ageha was the one who taught Kotori how to work with FRPs.
このくらいですか？まだ多い。FRP は樹脂の割合が多いと強度が弱くなるの。
Well, that's true because it's the fibers that carry the strength, and if you put too much resin, well, the strength is even across all directions, but it's going to be less.
じゃあ、このくらい？
But then again, you need the resin to hold all the fibers together.
少なすぎ。難しいです。
But we also know that Asa's not really good with her hands, and she is quite clumsy as well. So in the corner of the dock, Kotori is teaching Asa the process of making things from FRP. In the same way as 1 year ago when Ageha taught Kotori, they were making a dish from FRP. Okay, so basically copy what Ageha did a year ago.
そうそう、その調子よ。で、なるべく手早くね。
But at least Asa's learning.
なるべく手早く。こぼした。流れてる流れてる。
Uh-oh.
どうしよう。
Just clean it up. Easy. So Asa knocked over the bucket filled with resin. Well, I'm sure it's not cured yet, so they can just clean it up and it'll be okay.
もう何やってんのよ。
And I'm sure there are compounds that can remove dry resin.
ああ、これじゃもう使えないわね。
But anyways, we'll have to make new resin then.
ごめんなさい。
So Asa seems disheartened as she apologizes. However, Ageha doesn't go easy on her.
いい？ここにある資材には限りがあるの。足りなくなったらグライダーを作れなくなっちゃう。
And also, I'm sure the materials cost a lot of money, and I'm pretty sure as well that the grandfather isn't willing to put that much money into buying new materials.
技術はおいおい身につければいいけど、資材や道具は大切にしないとね。はい。
So it felt like Ageha was saying, well, if you understand, then that's alright. Then she came back over towards me. So Ageha and I were repairing the damaged parts of the aircraft. And FRP repairs are carried out in a much the same way when joining parts that have been built separately. That's true. So we attached the glass mat to the back of the damaged parts as we spread the resin to laminate it. And once it's dry, we sand it and then paint it again, and then it's finished, so it's pretty easy. And the problem is that when we reinforce the damaged areas, the FRP becomes thicker, which increases the weight. Well, then again, the same thing is true for aluminum because you use a doubler plate and you drill new rivets to hold this plate together, along with applying epoxy to glue this doubler plate together. And in old jets, you can see all those plates on the airplane. And, well, anyways, the autopilot system can compensate for the increased weight anyways. And I'm sure for a large jet like a 747, that extra weight doesn't really add too much to, well, relative to the overall weight of the aircraft at takeoff. So of course, it is a problem if it becomes heavy, but in the case of glider, the balance of the aircraft might also get messed up. So unfortunately, the glider's light, so every pound or kilogram really counts.
右翼の損傷箇所はここだけ?
Yeah, so next is the body.
よし、今日中に全部終わらせよう。
So these are the cracks that we haven't been able to fix for a year. And we wanted to do it so we'd be able to fly again soon.
また失敗しちゃった。
And once again, Asa's having trouble learning how to do FRP composites. So Asa let out a sigh as she cleaned up the resin that she had spilled. So it was spilled on the floor, so it can't be used again due to impurities being mixed in with it. But because they're using it to make a dish as practice, well, it can still be used for that. Well, it's like it's dish, and when they're done with it, they can just... Well, I'm pretty sure at the end, it's just going to be tossed in the trash can. So as Ageha said, there is a limit to our materials. So when we run out, we don't have the funds to... Let's see. To be able to replenish them easily.
空気を押し出すように。お、しゃ、お、しゃ。
So I'm pretty sure Ageha and Kotori and Aoi, they're making money working at Tatsuya or Anchan's factory, and they're using the money to buy resin and FRP material.
何ですか、小鳥先輩。ちょっと思い出してたのよ。
So what happened?
私もね、あなたみたいな時期があったわ。
So it reminds me of the past when I also stumbled and had trouble with FRPs. So Kotori relaxed, closed her eyes, and stared and started to tell a story about something. And the way she looked was just like a giant actress looking back on half of her lifetime. So Kotori's telling Asa, well, don't worry, I know that you're having trouble, but you know, I was like you in the past. I also had trouble working with FRPs.
何をやってもうまくいかなくて、自分はみんなのお荷物なんじゃないかって悩んだりもした。
and I feel the same way that you did, or like I felt the same way are doing in the past. So I wonder why Ageha has to give that kind of expression to them.
でもね、そんな私を変えてくれたのはかけがえのない仲間たち。
Okay, and we can see Kotori all happy with her. Well, she's flexing her arms.
かけがえのない仲間たち。そうよ、仲間たちとの絆で私は変わることができたの。
So thanks to my friends, I was able to change.
もう無理、限界。
And okay, so Agaha's not happy that Kotori's showing off. It's like, well, I can't believe you're talking about this with embellished details. So Agaha threw down the brush she was using to spread the resin.
Huh?
So what's wrong?
何かゆくなるようなことを真顔で語ってんのよ。
So you're exaggerating.
見なさいよこれ、サブイボ立っちゃったじゃない。
And okay, well, anyways. So next to her, I held on to my stomach as I broke into a fit of laughter. Ha 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 ha! So what's this? Well, don't make me laugh. I can't hold my hand still.
真面目に言ってるのに。はあ、かゆいかゆい。
So while Ageha's upset at Kotori showing off, talking about the story with all of the embellished details, Aoi finds it funny. He's like, oh, that was quite interesting. And the way that Ageha got all jealous about Kotori showing off. Ha 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 ha. Oh, watch out. So Asa says, so sometimes she makes a really serious face and says some hilarious things. So the way that Ageha reacted, that was quite funny.
今のはギャグだったんですか？
Really?
ギャグじゃないの。
So Kotori started throwing things at us in anger. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. Ouch. Okay, so actually, I always making fun of so he's making fun of Kotori because Kotori's fantasizing, going a little bit too far, and I'm sure at some point Kotori's lying about her past, and she's adding her own things into it.
こら、期待に当たるでしょうが。言ってた。バカバカ、デリカシーのないアホ野郎ども、地獄に落ちろ。
I'm sorry. Well, I'm happy you feel that way, though. Well, it's just that you need to have a sense of the time, the place, and the occasion, right, Ageha?
嬉しいけど、真面目に作業してるときに言うのやめて。
Okay, so Ageha liked coming over. It's like, well, you know, even though we kind of argue, but at least it makes things more exciting rather than having a still environment where we're just working, moving our hands, and having no talk.
ほらほら、ここ手が震えて歪んじゃったよ。
And the way that I yelled at Kotori, that was kind of funny seeing how she reacted.
そんなの私のせいじゃないもん。あんたたちが悪いんだ。
But then you reacted really poorly to my little story, right? So not knowing if we were joking or serious, Asa couldn't keep up with it and just watched us.
皆さん、やっぱり仲がいいんですね。
That's true.
ちっとも良くない。今の聞いたでしょ。友情を信じてたのは私だけなんだから。
Wait, it was true. It wasn't me just showing off and glorifying the story. Come on, believe me.
ちょっとからかっただけだってば。愛してるよ、小鳥ちゃん。
Well, that's how you are, Kotori, so that makes you special and good. So our friendship will last forever. Uh-huh.
もう絶好よ、バーカ。
Well, how about I break it off right now? Oh no! So she's really sulky now. Well, if we leave it like this, it'll drag on for another week. Okay, so I'll buy you an ice cream then. So, it's my apology for making you look bad.
ハーゲンダッチのストロベリーね。
So, Haagen-Dazs, the expensive brand. She turns her back to us as we tried the softly soft approach to appease her and goes back to teaching us about FRP.
だいぶ形になってきたわね。
Okay, so putting all that little talk aside, it looks like Asa's getting better with FRPs.
こんなのがあの大きなグライダーになるんですか？
Well, that's true.
そうよ。へえ。
So it's kind of like epoxy. So even though it looks like a really small paste or some small glue, they use it on big airplanes to glue different body sections together. And those sections are really big and they hold up most of the airplane. And it's one of the most important parts when it comes to manufacturing. It's getting all the big body pieces joined together.
自分たちが作った翼が飛んでるところを見るのは最高よ。
So fire was burning in Asa's eyes.
私頑張ります。うんうん、その意気だ。
So the repairs to the glider were soon completed. There were only cracks in a few places, and the repair work itself was quite easy. And after that, we carried out a spot check of the whole aircraft and didn't find any other problems. And I wonder how they are checking the airplane, because just using eyes is not enough. And most people, they use, I'll say, like X-ray imagery, they use ultrasound, they use boroscopes. And I know of one test where they run electrical currents across the glider or the airplane fuselage. And if the electrical patterns don't flow smoothly, it means that there is a crack somewhere or a hole. But I'm sure as students, they don't have access to all those expensive equipment. So with that, we reached a point where if we decide to fly, we would be able to do so, but...
いよいよ始めるわよ。大改造プロジェクト。
So what's going to happen next now? So at Kotori, the leader signal, Ageha laid out the designs. So Asa started... Oh, so she stared at the detail diagram.
すごいですね。これも先輩たちが書いたんですか？まさか。これはあまねちゃんが書いたのよ。あまねさん？あの写真の方ですか？
Okay, so at least Asa knows Amane by name.
そう、あまねちゃんは天才だから。正真正銘のね。
So is that girl, she's wearing turquoise and green and is in the right side of the photo. So Kotori intentionally said in a way that Yoru, let's see, sipping instant coffee while sitting on a chair at the back of the room would be able to hear. And before, Yoru had stolen something important from Asa, and maybe she felt gratified by that. So now she sometimes comes in here with Asa. So I wonder what she's doing besides coffee, and I wonder why she wants to come in. So Yoru didn't seem to be concerned as she ignored Kotori. And just like a cat who, so with a nonchalant expression, decides to take a nap even when a dog is barking at her ear. And the teachers and some of the students have been making a fuss over her, saying she's a genius, but I've never seen her claim that herself.
どんな人だったんですか、その天音さんって。
So for Yoru, the problem is that, well, even though she's smart, she can think of the right things and can do stuff correctly, it's that she has a really bad attitude and she's always uninterested in everything. So how is Amane? Or what kind of person is she?
天然スレスレの天才よ。天然スレスレ？
So, a natural born fool?
変な人だったよね。自分がすごいってことにまるで気づいてないみたいだったし。
Well, she is strange in a way because, well, she gets too concentrated on something that she forgets to eat.
客観性が欠如してるのか、はたまた頭の回路が常人とはかけ離れているのか。
So she would often say, well, that's because I'm stupid.
へえ、でも優しそうな人ですよね。
So it might mean that she's a really great person then.
優しいっていうか、子供みたい？それもとびっきり手のかかるね。
Well, then again, we had to take care of her, so she looks very pretty, she's tall, and has a good figure, and is a very feminine girl. But her eyes are a little like a little kid's, and it was like she was looking at the whole world through a prism. And there was a mysterious feeling about her. So these designs were made by Amane for her best friend, Iska.
親友？そう、私たちの大先輩のはずなんだけど、実はどんな人なのかよく知らないの。
So apparently Iska was the one who revived it all, and even though Amane has mentioned many times about her, we've never seen her on the screen, so she's kind of a mystery to everyone, including Ageha, Kotori, and Aoi.
イスカさんって言って、天音先輩と2人でソアリング部を復活させたんだけど、その後いきなり学校を辞めちゃったんだって。
So she suddenly left school.
イスカ。
Wait, Asa? So do you know anything about Iska?
あ、いえ、変わった名前だなって思って。
Okay. So I wonder if Yoru knows about Iska.
だからこれを作るんですか？
So that's one reason, but that's not all. So the mysterious clouds that you saw, so we told you before how that's what we're aiming for, didn't we? So we've spoken many times about the last flight I took with Amane, and we've been thinking about several reasons why we failed that time. And there are basically 3 problems. So what's the 3 problems? So I explained them simply so that Asa could understand. So first is lack of tilt or lack of lift. The glider we have now is extremely well balanced, and because of all the flights we performed, we made adjustments in the way it's been built. And that is to say, it's an all-rounder. While on the other hand, it doesn't specialize in any particular areas, which might count as a negative point, since it's been built for a specific purpose. And the thing we need is wings that will allow us to fly higher. And when these aren't Okay, so when there aren't many updrafts, we have to reach a high altitude as quickly as we can, so we need wings that are adapted for that. So I think one problem is that if you look at the wings, there's not enough surface area, and it's the surface area that generates lift. And either you have big wings with lots of area, or you have powerful engines that can propel the aircraft higher. But for a glider, there's no engines. So the next thing we need is piloting skills. So we realized that it takes a lot of skill to find upward drafts in the limited time we have to reach the morning glory. And that's why I traveled to the airfield and took proper pilot training. And then a few days ago, I finally got my pilot's license. So at least Aoi has some certification to fly gliders. And last of all is the flight plan. So when in the morning glory appears completely, different weather patterns to normal occur over Kazugura. And this affects where the upward drafts will occur and what kind they'll be and how high they will be able to lift the glider. And also which winds we should ride. And for that, we needed to put together a plan. So anyways, that's how it is. Do you understand? She gives a strong reply, but it doesn't seem like it doesn't really look like she understands. Well, not much we can do about that. She's a new member who hasn't even done any test flights yet.
簡単に言っちゃうと、より高く飛ぶために高揚力の翼に改造しようってわけ。
So I wonder if they still have the simulator from Amane in the past.
それがこの設計図なわけよ。
So Amane must have foreseen this when she drew these plans. However, there was no way she could have made it by herself. And we would be the ones to build this glider that almost seemed like an illusion.
じゃあ早速取り掛かりましょうか。
So we're going to modify the glider according to this plan, and in result, it's going to allow the glider to have better performance to what we use it for and what we're trying to accomplish. So I remember another problem is that they use a winch to lift the glider into the air, and the winch, even though it's good, it's not powerful enough compared to a tow plane. And that's one of the reasons why they need bigger and better wings for the glider. So we head to the dock, and the first thing is to make the new wings. So bigger, more area. The same way as before, it starts out with us making the shape from styrofoam. And we already have the experience of doing this, so we can get to work without delay.
ああ、こうやって作るんだ。感心してないで、朝も手伝う？
Now come on, if you look at it, we won't get anything done, so help.
はい。このヒートカッターで発泡スチロールを切っていくの。ほら、やってみ。
So she's teaching us how to do it properly.
ゆっくりよ、ゆっくり。
Okay.
はい、その調子よ。慎重にね。
So easy, easy, careful. And I think Asa hurt herself.
ちょっと、どこ切ってんの？葵、ここ押さえてて。
Okay, so leave Kotori to Asa. So for Aoi, go to Ageha. Sure.
広いと作業しやすいわね。
Okay. Yeah, well, it's a little hot though. So there's no air conditioning in the dock. And we were able to use the electric fan we brought with us to keep cool. So while dripping with sweat, we become immersed in the work.
あんな汗だくで必死な顔しちゃって。理解の外にいる頑張り屋さんばかりね。
So I wonder what's the problem with that. So Yoru, who was leaning against the wall, turned to leave the dock. Hey, Yoru, so are you leaving?
飲み物買ってくるだけ。ここ暑くて死にそうだもの。
Well, so it's too hot in here, so...
姉さん、何かいる？
So anything? Any drinks?
じゃあサイダー。
Cider?
他の先輩方は？
So what about everyone else? Wait, huh?
じゃあウーロン茶。
So oolong tea for Ageha
私はコーラ。
and cola for Kotori and for Aoi as well.
サイダーとウーロン茶とコーラ2つね。
Okay then. So with a straight face, Yoru left the dock. So we looked at each other curiously, but we didn't really say anything else. And we went back to work. So there was still something we needed to do as part of the safe execution of the glider improvement project. And that was... Okay, so once again they have to clean the runway and cut the lawn. So it's been 8 years since they've conducted any flights, and likewise, the weeds are overgrown and the grass. So we gathered some people to help with the work on a midsummer Saturday afternoon under the blazing hot sun. So about halfway through the work, Kotori and I went to greet the landowner at their home.
暑い。溶けちゃうよ、夜じゃ。ならこっち来て一緒に休めば？日陰涼しいよ。ジュースもあるわよ。
Okay?
ほら、頑張って朝ちゃん。これやらないと飛べないんだから。
Well, come on. So we still have to cut the lawn somehow. So I pushed Kotori's wheelchair back to where the others, covered in sweat, were working.
おかえり。おかえりなさい、先輩。どうしたんですか？
So what's up? Asked Asa, looking at Kotori's gloomy expression.
みんな、ごめん。
Wait, what happened? So everyone was puzzled by Kotori coming back with their, let's see, hell lower an apology.
どうしたの？何かあったの？滑走路を借りられなくなった。
Uh-oh. So apparently it looks like the owners don't want us to use this runway anymore.
なんで？
So Ageha, who was now even more puzzled, looked at me, who had accompanied Kotori. So why not? Well, so it's as Kotori says, they said that we can't use it. So the landowner is an old member of the Soaring Club, and last year they had willingly let us use the runway. But this year we can't use it.
実は。
So Kotori told everything. Okay, so Kotori told everyone about the situation. So the person knew that the Soaring Club had lost its status, and the school had requested that they not allowed former members of the Soaring Club to use the runway. And the one who contacted them was our unfavorite teacher, Tobioka-sensei. So it looks like he has upper hand, and he's found every possible way to shut the Soaring Club down. And this is another way that he did to make sure the Soaring Club never comes back to life. And because it doesn't count as club activities, if any problems occur, they couldn't be held responsible. And that's why they can't let us use it even if they wanted to. And it's a natural decision. It wasn't their fault at all, and they apologized over and over.
またあのおっさんか。だかどこまで邪魔する気よ。
So like, well, the owners, they can't handle the liability of any accidents. So, to be safe and to respect the teacher Tobioka-sensei's wishes, we have to decline the request. Well, you probably realized that we were carrying out our activities in secret. And you must already know that it was us who took the glider from the storeroom. Okay, so they know who did it. But at least they don't know where it is, though.
ごめんなさい。私のせいだわ。私がこんな体だから余計に警戒されちゃったのよ。
Well, I don't think it's Kotori's fault, anyways. Wait, so that's got nothing to do with it.
なんでそうなるわけ?
So Kotori was acutely aware of something in the landowner's reaction. So there certainly was an element of that. And if something were to happen to someone disabled like Kotori, it's possible that it would become an even bigger problem. And although the landowner didn't actually say something like that, it seems that Tobioka-sensei had made that implication. And they didn't say it directly, but it seems that the school had said something like that to them.
何それ? 最低.
However, that's not the reason. The real reason is that they refused it because the soaring club is treated as having been shut down.
じゃあ、飛べないんですか?
Well, I'm sure they can find somewhere else to conduct flights, not this place. And I still kind of wonder if Tobioka-sensei is still trying to find the glider. And it's only a matter of time before they get pulled into the administration office being questioned about the glider.
滑走路がないんじゃ、お手上げね。そんな。
So Asa looked sadly as her hands that were covered in dirt from pulling up the weeds.
他の場所探してみたら?
Oh, okay, so Kanako has the right idea, so find somewhere else.
無理よ。平らで十分な広さがある土地なんて限られてるもの。バカみたい。
Okay, so Yoru might have some ideas. So Yoru, who was sitting in the shade listening to our conversation, spoke like she was irritated. So Kotori glared angrily at her.
その程度で諦めちゃうわけ? さっきまでやる気満々だったくせに。
Really? So this is going to stop your dreams? Just this one little problem?
何よ、あんたには関係ないでしょ?
But then again, you're not part of the soaring club, so you don't understand.
あるわよ。あの場所を貸してるし、姉さんだって巻き込まれちゃってるし。
So we have something else for you.
ま、でもその程度ならさっさとやめちゃった方がいいかもね。ヨルちゃん、やめて。本当のこと言ってるだけよ、私は。
Well, there's nothing mistaken in what Yoru was saying. And if we get depressed and give up because of something like this, it would have been better if we never even started it in the first place. And that's why no one has anything to say back to her. So Yoru does have a point. It's like, well, you can't let this little problem shut you down. If you really want to get the glider into the skies behind Tobioka-sensei's back, you'll find some solution that's going to work. So, okay, we won't give up. Isn't that right, Kotori?
ええ、もちろんよ。
And just as things were starting to go well, we were hit with a big counterpunch, which left us reeling. But we're not the ones to lose heart at this sort of thing.
でもどうするの？他に場所探すったって。
So where can they conduct flights then? Well, there's no need to do that. So simple. All we have to do is to be accepted as a club. And that's what we're aiming for originally. There's no reason for us to be depressed, is there?
ああ、そっか。
So Kotori nods enthusiastically.
この程度、私たちにとっちゃ逆境でも何でもないって、あのおっさんに思い知らせてやるのよ。飛岡先生の嫌がらせは今に始まったことじゃないしね。
Well, then again, I'm sure he's had many confrontations. And I'm sure when Ageha was working at the Robotics Club, I'm sure she got grilled heavily by Tobioka-sensei because he fears that it's not perfect, it's not going to win awards, it's not going to put the school or like get the school recognized. So the test flight will have to be postponed a little longer though.
皆さん。この私をコケにしてくれたこと、必ず後悔させてやるわ。
There you go. So it would appear that we need to speed things up when it comes to the restoration of the club, so that we can return to the sky as soon as possible. There you go. So Asa had become a member, so one of Akari's conditions had been met, which meant that there were two left to fulfill. So one, you need enough members, check. Two, you need to have an objective, that's check. And I'm sure it's 3 and 4, so 1, qualifications, or like 3, qualifications, and 4, having an advisor. So the lack of a teacher to act as an advisor and the lack of a qualified personnel. There you go, so 3 and 4. So if the advisor is someone who has the qualifications, that would fulfill both at the same time, but that would be just too good to be true.
すまんな。お前たちの気持ちはわかるんだが、俺も演劇部の顧問やってるから。
先生が演劇なんて似合わない。
Well, it's too late.
そうだそうだ。
うるさいよ。俺は今でこそ慶風学園で教師やってるが、本当は芸術家志望だったんだ。
But then again, I like this club, so
芸術はいいぞ。お前らもグライダーなんかやめて演劇部に入れ。
And he carries, or I feel like he's like a pet for Tobioka-sensei. It's like, well, if you really want to find a good place to do clubs, or like if you want to have a good club to join my club.
嫌です。
Pass.
お断りです。
先生ちょっと傷ついたぞ。
Well, you know, it kind of hurts me that you refuse to join my club. The teacher left, hurt, and we all slouched towards dejected. So I'm pretty sure, well, I wonder who will be an advisor, because I'm pretty sure Tobioka-sensei is pressuring every teacher in school not to sponsor or be an advisor for this club. By the way, that was out from our homeroom teacher.
やっぱダメか。
So this isn't going very well.
どの先生ももうどこかの部活を受け持っているんですね。
Said Asa as she looked at the list. So that's a list of teachers at Keifu Academy that Ageha had made. It has the information on their homeroom class, clubs to which they're an advisor, or whether or not they're on Tobioka-sensei's side. Okay, so that's a really good way to. That's really good information to add on the list. So today, using that list, we've been going around and asking all the teachers who seem like they might cooperate with us. But you did really well to get all of this information, right?
アゲハちゃんの情報網を甘く見ないでよね。
Well, you know, I'm smart and I know how to work around the system.
あとは山野辺先生くらいか。
But I'm pretty sure he resigned, is not a staff member anymore. So we can't ask him. Even more, his hair will go white.
そしたら今度こそ新妻と離婚の危機に。
So our advisor last year, Yamanobe-sensei, is young, but he's married. And it seems his wife is a slender and pretty woman, but seeing her husband, who she only just married, aging right before her eyes, she screamed, okay, so this shouldn't be happening, apparently. Well, I guess I can understand how she feels.
この際、そこは諦めてもらうしかないわ。
So basically, he's a no-go. Well, you can't just decide something like that, you know.
そうだよ。かわいそうだよ。奥さん美人だって噂なのに。
But then again, you have to understand that things have changed and now he's married, so.
じゃあどうするのよ。
But anyways, how are we going to solve this problem? So how are we going to get our advisor?
それは。
So let's think of another way. So it's after school and we're taking a day off from club activities. And the materials we ordered still haven't arrived, so we stopped working. Which is why, for the first time in a while, we've got nothing to do after school.
アゲハ、今日部活ないんでしょ？どっか寄ってこうよ。
Okay?
ごめん、用事あるんだ。
So Ageha refused the invitation of the girls in the class and came over to me.
ねえ、葵、暇でしょ？買い物付き合ってよ。
So how about some shopping then? So where do you want to go then?
ウィンディの地下街だけど。
That place. So Kotori goes past us as we are talking. So Kotori, so what are you up to then?
私、秘密基地に寄って帰る。
Okay. So why?
ちょっとだけやっときたいことがあるの。
Okay. Okay, I see. So I wonder what Asa's up to then. So we told her while taking a day off, so perhaps she's gone somewhere to hang out with Yoru.
ねえ、葵、付き合ってよ。
Come on, let's go together then. So what should I do? Okay, so we get to decide what I was going to do next. So whether or not go shopping with Kotori, go shopping with Ageha, or go to the secret base with Kotori, or go find out what's happening with Asa. So I'm going to pick the first option first. So let's see what happens if Aoi goes shopping with Ageha. Okay, so I'll carry your bags for you, or I'll be the gentleman.
おー、ちゃんとわかってるね。ドーナツおごるからさ。
Okay then, so... that's a bit stingy, so I was hoping to get a better reward for helping you, Ageha. So I feel slightly hard done by as I see Kotori, so I send Kotori off and then follow Ageha. So what are you going to buy then?
さあ、どうしよう。
I don't know. Wait, what the hell? Come on, so you should have a shopping list somewhere. And you should have it all ready by the time you ask me to go with you. Okay, so we arrive at Windy. After walking on the hot streets, the cool air inside the irresistibly comfortable environment. So Ageha had a strange smile on her face as she walks. So we're shopping, aren't we? So where do you want to go first?
まあ適当にブラブラとなんかあったら買うよ。
Window shopping? Hey, so aren't I supposed to be carrying your bags? Come on.
持ってほしいもの見つかったら頼むよ。
So basically, I'm just gonna go around. If I see something that I like, then you're gonna buy it for me, okay? Say that. So am I just here to help you kill time? I guess so.
いや、買い物だよ。あ
No.
くまで買い物。
So we're shopping. Come on. Hey, I'm not really sure what you mean.
気持ちを買いに来たの。
By feelings. Wait, feelings?
そう、気持ち。負けるもんか、やったるでーっていう。
So what is she competing with? So you're talking kinda strange.
負けへんでー。
Wait, that's even more strange. So you're giving me a whack.
まあ、そういうこと。
Hey, I still don't understand.
とりあえずジュースかアイスにしよう。どっち？おごるよ。
So which one? Wait, if I know you like I think I do, there's something you want me to do, isn't there?
いいよいいよ。どうしてあんたはそう人を疑うかな。
Hey, come on. I just said that we're just gonna go shopping for feelings, and why are you getting all worked up, questioning me? Like, what's wrong with this?
あー、でもやらせようってのは確かにそうだね。
But I do want you here for some reason.
気持ちを買うのを手伝ってほしいわけだし。
There you go. Well, I told you, I don't understand what you mean.
顧問。
The advisor? Ageha spoke over me. Okay?
見つからないよね。
Well, I guess not.
まだ諦めたつもりじゃないけど、今日みたいにやることなくなっちゃうとどうもね。嫌な方にばっかり頭向いちゃって気持ちが沈んじゃってさ。
Wait, you? Well, to be honest, I didn't expect this from her. So Ageha's always so cheerful and optimistic. Thought that she seemed or never been depressed in her life.
人をなんだと思ってたのさ。鋼鉄の女？ FRP で顔面塗りたくった無表情女？
So, do you think I'm like a robot because I went to the robotics club in the past? So I'm nothing more than a machine that only is good with FRPs, right? Okay, so I'll go ahead and stop here. And I'm pretty sure Ageha wants something more from Aoi than just being someone to carry her groceries and to help her shop for feelings. And I'll make sure I play the other options once I get past this Ageha portion of the story. So more importantly, I wonder how they're able to get the club back to club status. So I'm pretty sure number 3 might be met, so qualifications, because Aoi now has a pilot license. But for number 4, the club advisor, I'm pretty sure that teacher is pressuring every other teacher not to sponsor or be the advisor for the Soaring Club. And it's not good to go back to their old teacher, Tobioka-sensei, for help, because if I remember, he already resigned from the school, and I think it's illegal to have a former teacher be the advisor. But then it might be their only chance to get this club back to club status. So we'll see how they're able to get all those objectives met and whether or not Akari is going to help them in the end to get the Soaring Club back to club status. And I'm pretty sure I'm coming close to the end of the common and divergence routes of If Our Heart Had Wings. But with all that said, I'll see you in the next episode.